Hey guys, welcome back to Optimize the Infinifactory walkthrough. This episode I'm going to be covering the second half of production zone number 1. Well, second part, I guess. Technically it's not half because there's 7. But we're starting off with the anti-Jasmine battery. So, what are we building? We are building these. They're kind of like the AA turrets we had a long time ago. But these are the design of the Resistance. And instead of being given one of the fancy new metal extruders like we've had the last few levels, we are instead breaking down these ships and using them for parts. So the way I've got this set up, it uses 2 ships to make one of those. Or sorry, 3 ships. Because each ship has 2 of these guns on it, and we need 6 of them to make one of those. So, as they're coming out, as soon as the first one gets down to here, the second 2 will get pushed over to here, and they'll both get almost entirely broken down. The only thing that'll be left is the two guns and a couple of blocks of metal. The 2 guns will move through here, and they'll get welded together into groups of 2 vertically, and then the extra couple of blocks will fall down underneath and get moved all the way over here. So the blocks and the guns, they'll all get moved over to here. Meanwhile, the first, whatever you want to call these ships to come out, gets moved over to here, where it gets sliced and diced a little bit more in depth than the other ones, so that I can save some of the metal blocks, and then those are all transported over to here also, where everything gets welded together at the end. So let's take a look at how this works. So 3 come out, 2 of them get moved over and broken off, and all we get is a block of 3. The other one just falls to his doom in the lava. So then, as a result, we get 2 of these guns and that extra metal block, and those all fall down there. So the first one that comes through gets turned into a couple of strips of 3 and the 2 guns and the connector piece right there. So the other gun from it gets welded on top, and the block of 3 from over on the other side gets welded in to make the base. Then it moves over here, and the groups of 2 guns fall in place and get welded on top. And that's that. Next, we've got the mag tube corridor. We are making these. So it's a metal corridor, I guess, but the corners are something different. So the main body of it is going to come from this extruder right here. But then the corners are going to come from this one over here. So the corner extruder is set up to make groups of length, however long they need to be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once we've got 4 of them that we need for a specific product, they get pushed off and moved elsewhere over to here. Meanwhile, when we've got a block out of here, the length we need, it'll get the middle chopped out. And then it'll move over to here, and as it's moving along this track, these eviscerators will destroy the corners, where we'll eventually replace. So then we'll have 4 separate pieces. We've got 2 side walls and a top and a bottom wall. So the 2 side walls will get moved over to here, and the top and the bottom piece will move over to here, where they'll get the side pieces welded onto them. And then they'll move and join up with the side walls that we chopped off earlier. So I'll show you guys how this goes. So we've got our 4 separate pieces. sidewalls split off, go elsewhere. Meanwhile, the top and the bottom fall down here and get welded to the corner pieces. So then once we've got the top and the bottom, the side pieces move in and everything gets welded together down there. And you can see I've got this articulated welder here to weld on the sides once they're ready to go. And this one has the added bonus of pushing the whole thing out of the way. That's it for the mag tube corridor. And finally for this video, we've got solar cell arrays. So we are making these, and well, you can't do them all as one block, unfortunately, because there's no way to weld in this middle piece. So the way I did this was 5 separate strips, and then we weld the solar panels on top and then weld the strips together. So what we've got here is the extruder is down there, and it extrudes all the way out to here, and it gets split into 5 strips by these lasers here. And then 3 of them go to the left and 2 of them go to the right. The 3 that go to the left float up here into this welding system, and the solar panels drop in and get welded on. Meanwhile, the other 2 just kind of chill out over here. Once the solar panels are welded onto these 3, they move across and weld onto the main bottom pieces, and the whole thing's taken to the end. So the solar panels come from these, actually, these little satellite type things. And the middle really doesn't matter, but we need to get the solar panels. And unfortunately, they need to be stacked up vertically, which means that we can't take the middle ones. We can only get 4 from each panel. So what that does is it moves it on here, and the middle gets chopped up. And then the 4 solar panels get lifted up, and once we've got 3 of them pushed up here, they're all welded together and touching this top, so they get moved out onto this belt. And they kind of just go to the end of the belt and wait. And then once we've got 9 of them, hold on, let me just double check how the wiring works. Once we're ready for 9 of them to get pushed out, they get moved into where they need to be welded. So. And if there's any extra ones, they'll end up right on top of this, and that eviscerator get destroyed. So I don't have to worry about an overflow due to the fact that these are being produced slightly faster than the bottom pieces. I've also got a holder down here on the bottom so that we don't produce them faster than we can produce the solar panels. So there's a little bit of timing issue here that can be fixed, but it's not that bad. So once the 3 panels are moved up into the position to accept the solar panels, that's when this trigger pops out to prevent another section of these strips from being created. And as you can see, I've got more of those than I need, so. And you can see I've got a trigger for a filter down there, but it really doesn't seem to do anything, so I should probably take that out. But anyway, that's the solar cell array, and that's the end of production zone number 1. Pretty short video for you guys, I know, but that's alright. I didn't want to try to cover all of these at once, because the last 3 did get a little bit longer and a little more dicey, so I figured it'd be nice to have those in a separate video. So, see you guys next time for Astropo Station.